in North America. Now there are other marketing philosophies, and I just want to touch on these for a couple of minutes. You really need to think back to sort of the history of business to sort of understand where these different philosophies come from, because not everybody has operated under the marketing concept. If you think back to the sort of late 19th century, earliest 20th century, we have companies like Ford Motor Company and Henry Ford with his attitude that you can have a car in any color you want as long as it's black. This was really operating under a production or a product philosophy. Henry Ford really didn't care a lot about what consumers wanted, and that he was able to make a car and he was able to make it cheaply, and as long as he could make it at a reasonable price, he was happy, and I guess customers happy too. There was a lot of demand for products, and the companies were just trying to sort of meet that demand. There was very limited supply, and so they were following a production orientation where believing that customers will favor products that are affordable and just generally available. And in some communist countries, they sort of operate this philosophy, again, especially when there is sort of greater demand than there is supply. Now, in North America, sort of in the 1940s and 1950s, when production companies became much more efficient and the supply of products became greater than the demand, companies realized that they had excess inventory and they had to start to sell the product and move aggressively. And so came into being very aggressive selling techniques and somewhat questionable advertising. And companies here operated under a selling concept where what they would do is they sort of realized that customers wouldn't buy unless they sort of undertook some sort of large-scale selling or promotional effort. So it was really, I'm going to sell what I can make. Now, the marketing concept really emerged in the 1950s, and General Electric was probably one of the pioneers of the company. And here, what they said was that they were going to involve marketing people, not at the end of the process, not when the product is made and we now have to turn around and sell it, but let's involve the marketing person at the beginning of the process to find out what people need. So in other words, using information to find out the needs and wants of people, and then making what people want. And it sounds like a fairly obvious philosophy that we should be making what people want. But it wasn't always that case. Not all companies fell under that philosophy. But now most companies do operate under this idea of the marketing concept. Over the last few years, there's been a lot of concern about the environment and sort of marketers almost being like indulgent parents, giving consumers whatever they want, not looking at the impact on the environment or or the impact of technology. And so many companies have adopted sort of an extension of the marketing concept called the societal marketing concept. And it's generating customer satisfaction as well as long-run societal well-being. So in other words, you're going to give consumers, say, a product, but you're not going to use excessive packaging or use plastics that's difficult to, or a product that's maybe difficult to recycle. So looking at satisfying customers, also taking society's well-being into consideration. And many firms are sort of moving into this societal marketing concept. So you should have an idea about the differences between production, the product and selling concept, and the marketing and the societal marketing concept. So that's the end of this first lecture. As a result, you should have an idea of the core concepts and the differences between customer value, satisfaction, and quality. Sort of understanding that it is a marketing management process, that marketers do the 4 management steps: analyze, plan, evaluate, and control, as well as they use these 4 Ps as their controllable factors, and that it's a cyclical process. Understanding customers' needs, developing product, and it's priced and it's promoted and it's certainly distributed. That's the last one, place. And hopefully it will deliver sort of, it will be a satisfying product. It will exceed customers' expectations, and if companies can do that on an ongoing basis, they'll build relationships with customers, and that will generate long-term revenue and help the organization achieve its objectives.